Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger. Long time no see. I'm finally back to do more Divisive movie month, and this time I'm talking about a 2009 comedy sequel that came out. It's an action comedy sequel to the Pink Panther movies. Yeah, this is the second Pink Panther movie, The Pink Panther 2, starring Steve Martin as Inspector Jacques Clouseau, a comic gem. I agree. This is not as divisive as I thought. Like people said, it's one of the worst movies ever made. I'm like, yeah, I've seen worse comedies, guys. Trust me, I've seen worse. And this isn't even Harold Schwartz's worst movie. I mean, this is the same guy that did that god awful Mortal Instruments movie from 2013, which I hate to a passion. He also did One Night in McCool's, which I like that movie. I think that's also an underrated movie. It's one of the first movies I reviewed this year. Agent Cody Banks was not for me. I just thought the cast was just like there. I hated the Karate Kid remake. That was boring. 12th Man I haven't seen, so this is not his worst film. And basically, this takes place a couple years after the first one. Steve Martin's Clouseau is basically he's on the case of basically there's a master thief that tries to steal the Pink Panther diamond called the Tornado, and and other priceless artifacts from around the world. And the French government assembles a dream team of detectives to solve the case. Clouseau is one of them, and then you also have Alfred Molina's from Britain. You have an Asian guy that's got a French accent who's Japanese, and then you have who else? I think there was another person. I forgot who it was. And Andy Garcia as an Italian, who he's not, but he did okay. And yeah, the film is not too long. It's only 92 minutes. It didn't feel like it dragged for 2 hours. I got a couple laughs. Yes, it has a lot of slapstick. It's based on a cartoon, guys. What the hell are you expecting? Are you expecting Inception? No. I'm expecting some dumb fun. And I had fun with this. This was not painful like the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie or the second Flintstones movie, that freaking prequel that I hated so much. It's not, it's not an Adam Sandler movie where they have a joke that just goes on for way too long. I'm like, just move on. Don't make the joke go on for 5 minutes. Just move on. There's one joke in here that did that, but I'm like, there was a joke from the first movie, the hamburger joke, but that they bring back here, but because Dreyfus is played by another actor, because Kevin Kline didn't come back, so you have John Cleese playing Dreyfus, and he's not in the film very long, so he's just there to look like a dumbass in front of Clouseau, like in the original films. I've never seen the original Pink Panther movie with Peter Sellers. I've only seen A Shot in the Dark. Uh, well, I want to watch those movies. There's a lot of them, and this isn't even the worst in the franchise because you have one that was with Alan Arkin in like the '80s, and he was doing Clouseau, and that was completely forgotten. I think it was Son of the Pink Panther or something like that, and people were like, "What the hell is this?" So this made me laugh. There's scenes where Gene did Steve Martin's accent is like, "Killer, I will find you and I will kill you. I will put you to justice." I like his accent. It doesn't bother me. He's not copying Peter Sellers. He's doing his own take on the character, and just his slapstick. When he falls over something or he's dancing, it just makes me laugh my ass off because I love Steve Martin since I was a kid. And I saw him as his cameo on the Muppet movie. And Cheaper by the Dozen is hilarious. The remake of that, I like the sequel to that as well. Plane, Treasure, and Automobiles is a classic. I love watching that every Thanksgiving. And yeah, there's also other things I like in the movie. Emily Mortimer. If people say I'm a racist, she's British and I think she's adorable. She has these large, soulful eyes, very cute, sweet puppy dog eyes. She has a cute accent. She has dark hair. She's petite and she's very sexy without being overexposed. But granted, this one doesn't have as much adult humor as in the first one, but the one with Beyonce and Kevin Kline and Jason Statham in a cameo. But it's funny. It made me laugh. Like there's scenes that just like there were some jokes that kind of caught me off guard that made me smile. And like after seeing Stuber this year, which didn't make me laugh, I like chuckled once. This was a breath of fresh air, and it's a PG movie, so your kids can watch it. It's not overly offensive. Just seeing Clouseau fuck things up, and then he solves the case at the end. That's fun. It's in the cartoon as well, and I like the Pink Panther theme. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, 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 dun, dun. Also, Jean Reno comes back from the first one as Ponton. He's the sidekick to Clouseau. He doesn't have much to do in this one, like in the first one, but he's there. You also have he has his kids who they have a few cute scenes where they're doing kung fu against Clouseau and he's fighting them. That's a really ballsy scene because he's fighting kids, little kids, and this isn't like Kick Ass where a little girl's killing a bunch of adults. No, this is a grown man doing like play fighting basically, but with these kids. So it's pretty ballsy. You also have Ashwarya Ray Bachchan. She's a Bollywood actress. She's gorgeous. But again, people, stop casting good-looking women as villains because I'm not going to buy it. I'm so attracted to them. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not threatened by you. And she ends up being the tornado. So if you want, spoiler alert, she's Sonia Salandris. Excuse me. Yeah. She's in the movie for a little bit because she's not really an actress in the U.S. She's mostly done films in India, but she's fine. Lily Tomlin's in the movie in a cameo. She's in an extended cameo as Mrs. Yvette Berenger. She's a like an etiquette teacher to Clouseau, saying, "Yeah, there's a joke that made me say that there was a racist joke in the movie, but it made me laugh because I was like, wow, that's racist." But now they don't say that anymore, so I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to offend my Asian viewers. Just see the movie for yourself. Molly Sims is in the movie. She's Poton's wife, who she's like in one scene. She's not in the film that much. Uh, Yuki Masuyazaki, that's the Japanese guy. Uh, there is a scene where Clouseau does he proposes to Nicole, who is Emily Mortimer. It's cute. It's finally it's a proposal that's not forced like in Twilight, and it's sweet and cute. The filming locations they filmed in Winchester, Massachusetts, Paris, France, Boston, Bedford, Chelsea, and Westwood. And yeah, the reception here was not. It's not that bad, guys. At 12%, I've seen worse. Again, Pixels was more unfunny than this. This I got a lot of laughs and sometimes out loud. And here's the consensus: utter user lighting is talented cast. The Pink Panther 2 is a little more than a series of lame slapstick gags. Lame, really. I watched the Three Stooges and Home Alone 1 and 2, so slapstick is right up my alley. And Baby's Day Out and a bunch of other films. So it's not the worst thing ever. I've seen worse, guys. That's the thing that this is divisive because some people didn't like the first one. I did. I think the first one's better, but I'll say this, with all the flaws this movie has, there's some jokes that don't work or they're kind of dated. There's things that make me smile, and there was some ideas that worked. And Steve Martin just cracks me up. Just he will always crack me up compared to somebody like freaking Amy Schumer or Rebel Wilson or freaking Melissa McCarthy when she's given a bad script or freaking Kate McKinnon. And I'll say this: this is a better movie than Fembusters and freaking Woke Angels because unlike Woke Angels, it knows what it is. It's based on a cartoon. It doesn't have agendas. It's funny. It has a talented cast of people that are they're a lot better here than in other films. And it's fast paced. It has some decent action sequences for the most part, and it's short. It's not painful. I've seen more painful movies than this year. 10 years later, and you got freaking movies like Stuber and Escape Room, and these god awful movies on Netflix that don't work, and these Disney remakes that I'll never watch. I'd rather watch this than any Disney remake because it's not long. It's not 2 hours of pain and suffering. And the ending is fine. It shows the Pink Panther closing the door and the movie's over. And it's fine. It's not horrible, guys. Again, the director of this has done worse. Way freaking worse. Mortal Instrument is 2 hours and 13 minutes. The Mortal Instruments, not the Mortal Engines. Yeah, look at that. 130 minutes for that movie. 130 minutes. That was like 40 minutes longer than this movie, and it felt it. It's boring, melodramatic bullshit from Twilight, and melodramatic bullshit that doesn't go anywhere, and it leads to a sequel that never got made. Instead, it had a stupid TV show that I didn't watch. And but with this, it was quick and painless, and I like the film, and it's shot well. It's got some funny moments that made me chuckle or laugh out loud because Steve Martin just he goes for it. As much as they had stunt doubles, the stunt work is good. When he like falls to the freaking, there's a scene where he goes, he's looking in this mansion, and then he falls into the freaking into the, and what was it, the fireplace. That's funny, man. He just, the reactions that people get, they look at him like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? It's hilarious. He doesn't top Peter Sellers, but he does his own thing, and it makes me laugh. And so did the first one. I want to review that sometime too. But Pink Panther 2, if you have kids, it's worth a watch. I'd rather let them watch this than freaking other sequels that came out this year, like Dark Phoenix, like Men in Black International, which is kind of like a reboot sequel, or even Woke Angels, which is not a sequel, but it's not funny, guys. More money, more money, more horses. What the hell does that mean? At least this movie has jokes that make sense, unlike your stupid movie. But anyway, this is not about that movie. I'm not reviewing that. That's divisive because of the stupid agendas it was preaching down our throats. This doesn't have it. It is what it is. And if you don't like it, I get it. I get it. Then, slapstick humor is not for you, but it is for me. After watching boring ass comedies that didn't make me laugh, that made me laugh. So that's better than nothing. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.